We are beginning. Okay, so welcome. And good to have everyone here. And let me see, I'm going to mute all. And like I was saying, I can't believe, I never imagined that we would have such a need for restorative yoga today. It's been kind of, it's been quite the week. And I think rattling is a good word. I've found that this week I haven't had the right words to describe my feelings, how I feel, but I think that just popped into mind. You feel rattled, or I feel rattled, and so restorative is good. Restoring equilibrium within. I think that's great, and so today's session. These whole two, I would say probably the first 2 weeks of the year, is more about looking at overall wellness and optimal health. And knowing that all of us, each individual can take action. We can all take action to improve our health. And so, and sometimes it's in ways that maybe they're surprising ways that I bring up, and maybe they're not. But today's is increasing positive emotions by practicing loving kindness meditation. And so towards the end, I'll make sure we have a long time for Shavasana. We have 2 hours. And so we can actually practice the loving kindness meditation. Now, if you're familiar with it, it's a really powerful meditation. It's very simple. And it was taught by Buddha. And it's called the Metta, M-E-T-T-A, the Metta meditation. Metta is a Pali word. So, and that was the language of Buddha. So, let's see. I think that's where we're at, and we are going to begin. We're going to start out with this. So let me just make sure. Okay, everyone's muted. Sometimes, if somebody comes in a little late, they may not be muted, and then if I hear them, I'll go and mute them. They don't really realize it. Okay, so we're going to stretch our legs out. And those of you who came on a little bit later, after I said it, I would like you to have a chair nearby. And the reason is there's just a few movements we can do that restorative that use the chair. So it's kind of a nice one. Alrighty, so here we are. Stretch, point, and flex, and point, and flex. And thank you for many of you who had said, wow, an hour and a half goes by so fast, and, be nice if we could do 2 hours, and here we are. So take the soles of the feet together and just elongate your spine, closing the eyes. If you want to sit on a bolster or a block, you may. We're just going to take a few rounds of breath and just some grounding. And exhale. And breathing in. And exhale. So, grabbing the bolster, we could further be here. So you grab the bolster and you sling your legs over the bolster. It could be a rolled blanket. It could be 2 blocks underneath you. And your legs are really relaxed. And then you come forward. So again, another little trick would be maybe you have a block that you can lean into. It's tortoise, so your back might be very rounded here. And I want you to just go into this place and bring your breathing into your back. Swap out chairs here. completely relax your back, breathing into your back. And then from here, let's interlace fingers and press the palms up. So instead of collapse back, try to really elongate. Yeah. And breathing in. And exhale. I hope you have, relaxing music on, whatever. Maybe you just like silence to deeply relax. Okay. So from here, we're going to lie back. And what I would say is you might want an incline. So the incline, usually you think of the block going to where you think your head will be. So you're going to have a lot of support. And then for some, we need, if this is really intense, you might need a little something underneath your bottom, okay? Because you're not sitting on the bolster, okay. And then from here, so that's going to be the easiest way. You have a lot of support. And again, some of you don't really need the blanket at all. And what you could, another trick is to slide down a little bit. So I really like having the incline, though, I don't have to have it, but it's kind of nice. So you feel very supported, and this is all about opening the heart center, relaxing your face, so when there'll be a lot of movements that open the hip area, but also movements that open the heart area, and that's nice. The heart area, maybe both work really well with the loving kindness meditation. Because loving kindness meditation it's kind of asking forgiveness and asking to be forgiven. That's one aspect of it. And it starts with oneself, and then it goes outward to others. And basically it all starts from the heart, being loving, being understanding, being compassionate. I want you to see your breath right now as a gift, right? The breath is a gift. It's never to be taken for granted. We can go probably a number of days without food. My dad had a story. First time you met my dad, he would ask you, do you know how long a person can go without food? It was the first question he asked you. When I was a kid, I was embarrassed, but I was like, oh my God, here he goes again. And people say, I don't know. And he'd say, at least 18 days. At least 18 days. Because he experienced that in the war. A person could go without water for less amount of time. Maybe, I don't know, a day, 2. A person cannot go without air, oxygen, for very long at all. So this breath is sacred. It's a thread of life. I want you to be aware of your breath. as we're here, some of you can take your arms up overhead. And you're just going to stretch, like maybe you can hold the back of your bolster. Maybe that's, a little much. Maybe you take hands to elbows. Maybe you take turns, like one arm and then the other arm. Maybe it's just arms out to a T. So see what more you can do with the upper body. And increase the depth of breathing. So there's being engaged with the breathing, and then there's just being receptive with the breathing. And I would say, yes, in Shavasana, you are not so much engaged as you are receptive, watching, observing, not changing the breath at all. But in a lot of these restorative poses, you might be a little more involved. Like right now, I'm really working on, sometimes I observe, I'm receptive, and sometimes I feel, wow, I just got this second wind here. I'm going to breathe and expand. Let's say 3 more rounds of breath, and then we'll change positions. Feel yourself letting go. Letting go of anything it is that you need to completely let go of. Now we're going to bend the knees, and roll to one side, and then you help yourself up. I think that's the most gentle way to come out of those. Okay, now we have the chair, okay? So again, I just don't want you straining your back as you reach for your chair. I know it sounds funny, but some chairs are heavy. That's why I got this one, because it's heavier, and I want to have more your experience. The yoga chairs are very light. Okay, so I'm going to make sure both ends are on the sticky mat, so it just doesn't slide. And we'll just see, okay? So basically what I'd like to do is reach for the chair. I have the bolster against me. You could do this without a bolster, of course, and I'll show that in a moment. So it could be that your head is here, maybe you rest on one side, stretching the inner thighs, and breathing. So there is a way you can go closer to the chair and lean. The closer you are, I'm not sure about this, I think the closer you are, the less of a stretch, because you're more supported by the bolster. The further you are, the more of a stretch. I'm sure about it now. I just did it. Okay. So lean, if you have a bolster, turn your head one side, and then I'll make sure I tell you when to change your head position. Just so you know, if you don't have a bolster, you're leaning like so. You don't have to turn your head. You rest your forehead on your hands. I like them both. I'm trying them all on. Let's go ahead and do this for the other side. So meaning, again, if you're leaning your head to one side, go ahead and change your head position. Some of you are not. You have your head down. And breathe. let's say 3 more rounds of breath here. And then finally, come on up. Good. So it's a nice way to hold a pose that works the inner thighs. So now you're going to release and just shake out your legs. It's kind of under the chair at this point. Okay. So I'm coming forward. I'm going to be working the hamstrings. But before we do that, I think we should do a back arch. And so you're going to lean against the chair. And it's pretty simple. You could be like so, maybe you could reach back, okay? I don't know if you can reach. How can I do that? I'm trying to, it works better with my other chair, so I'm reaching back. That's not working for me, so I'm just gonna reach. I moved away. It works better with my other chair, and that one is like really strange. My shoulders come forward, so I'm holding the legs of the chair, and I'm pushing down, and lifting heart center, legs are together, so I'm looking for an arch. Breath in, exhale. And again, breathing in, and exhale. Great. So we have the forward fold. So different ways of working this. One could be that you actually have one block or so under your knees, especially if hamstrings are a little tight, so you can do that. Or you might say, I love forward folds. I'm not going to have that. I'm going to start with it. I'll just see. And then I'm leaning forward. I have the bolster on me, and I'm leaning forward. So I could have my head down and lean. Honestly, for me, I don't like that. I don't like the bolster. So another way would be I'm going to come closer to the chair, and I'm going to lean forward. And in my case, I'm going to come closer in. I'm going to bring my head onto my hands and lean forward this way. So you just saw a number of ways to come to a restorative Paschimottanasana. Now, again, I like the forward bend, so I'm going to straighten my legs, and I'm going to lean forward and breathe. At the very end, I'm going to invite you to move the chair away so you can go into a deeper forward bend. Right now, and you could do that already. I know, Carol, you like the forward folds too, so maybe you're like, I'm just going to reach for my feet. That's fine. Or what I'm doing is I'm like getting my hands to the chair. This chair has a little space here, and I can hold the chair. I'm holding from the inside and breathing. I want you to feel the hamstring stretch. If you're going, well, this is really comfortable, but I feel nothing, then you have to move further away and come further forward. That's what I had to do. So this is a nice back stretch. Restorative yoga uses a prop, be it a bolster, blocks, whatever it is. And you can hold the poses longer and lose yourself in these poses. One more breath here. Inhale and exhale. Good work. All right, so we'll move the chair away. We'll probably use it again a little bit, or we'll have it nearby. Okay. And from here, we're coming onto our backs. And as we come to our backs, think windshield wiper. Sorry, we need a block. Windshield wiper. So just hang on to the block for a moment, or you can bring it to your side, so you can go side, side, and just release your back. Feel those opening movements. Time is a weird concept in restorative yoga. It just kind of melts away, and that's okay. We're just losing ourselves in the few movements. Yeah, this is our Happy New Year class here. And it's so relaxing, right? And so next time your knees fall to the right, take your block and place it under your left knee. See how you can, how does that work? Find that right spot. So the knee is resting. And then maybe your right foot can come on top of left, and you can hang out because your left knee is supported. Take the arms up overhead. Sure, you can keep holding your left wrist or simply relax your arms and bring your sacred breath to the left side of your rib cage and breathe. Oh, you're leaving. Okay. And then let's do the other side. So feet are wide as the mat, knees falling to the left, and just adjust. And then taking your left foot on top of right thigh, second side, and extending your arms. So you're going to grab hold of your right wrist and hang out and breathe. Let's go ahead and release and come on out. Good work. So we have a floating bridge, but first we're going to realign, pull knees into chest, stretching your lower back, and rocking a little side, just rocking. And as you rock, and some don't like to rock. Some don't find that very comfortable, and others like to rock. It should feel really nice on your back. If it doesn't, you need an extra blanket underneath you. Some might be kind of bony, right? And then that's when it doesn't feel good. You need extra padding. Or maybe you're okay. Maybe you have built-in padding. And then it feels okay. And some of us have a thick mat. I don't have a thick mat. Okay, good. So let's take the block and let's bring it right under the pelvis. And as it's under your pelvis, you're going to extend your legs. So, you might find, I can't quite straighten right away. Maybe you straighten one leg at a time. That works. Sometimes you just need to, because it's hip flexors. And I will talk about hip flexors. So if this doesn't feel so good on your back, what you could do is lift your shoulder blades, inch up your mat. You almost feel like the block is really low on, it's very close to your tailbone, if not past your tailbone, the edge. Oh, hip flexors, they are, there's a teacher, bring the arms up overhead. There's a teacher whose name is Liz Coach. She's from Canada. And she teaches all these classes on psoas muscle, hip flexors. Very fascinating work, actually. And I found out about her through Marianne Kuchera. Yeah, so I've studied with Liz. And she talks about the hip flexors as very prehistoric. They're like ancient muscle. They're sort of like that brainstem. They are, we could say prehistoric. They are the first muscles to respond to stress. They respond by contracting, and they get us ready to fight or flight, to flight or flee. Even if the stressor is nothing that we can run away from, literally. We still react this way. And so right now, we're letting go. And in yoga, we say hip joints are the storage depot of emotions, whatever the unexpressed and the unworked through, unresolved. It's stored right here. So let's take a moment to restore health to our body, to scan, to let go of tension. I just put the chat button up just in case there's a chat. Let's take a few more rounds of breath here. Really feeling the release in your floating bridge. From here, we'll bend both knees, and we're going to take the right knee into chest. So if you could keep your block in place or release it. I think I'll release mine. And just pull knee into chest and extend the other leg. And just take a moment here. Breathing in. And exhale. And then we'll do the other side. So pulling knee into chest. Stretching your low back. Breathing in. And exhale. Let's do this for the neck. So we'll take the block. It's pretty simple. You take the block under your head. By the way, the block is like, it's the middle height. And you bring your head to it. And then from there, now that might be it. For some, that might feel, it doesn't look like it would be comfortable, but it's very comfortable. It reminds me of the Japanese, the wind block, the wooden blocks that they rest their head on, and you think, that can't be comfortable, and it actually is. And so what you could do is tilt your head back, tilt the block back so that your chin tilts down. It's a little counterintuitive. Tilt your block back so it's on its edge, and your chin is down, and you have to make sure that the block is going to stay. It's wedged at the base of your skull. There's like a ridge, right? The occipital ridge. And you're there, and your legs are relaxed. If you open your eyes, you see your legs, your feet are rolled outward. Palms are facing up. Shoulders are relaxed. You're aligned. And you're just going to take a few rounds of breath here. This is very effective. You don't have to hold very long. So if you have, it does not work with a wooden block, it's too intense. The cork blocks are very intense because they're very solid, and different kinds of foam. It works okay with what I have. All right, you're going to release, take your head down, and turn your head side to side. Doesn't take much at all. It's good. Good. So we'll do our fan, and I do think of it as restorative, just even though it's moving in, out, the Japanese fan, we do use props. So what I would say is your knee is going to be resting on a bolster. Your head could rest on a folded blanket or 2 blocks. Like the blocks would be side by side. Let me see. The blocks would be side by side for my head or a blanket. It just depends on you, how you want to work. And here I am. I think the bolster is too much. It's too high. So that's why under my head. So I have it under my knee. And some rest the knee on a block. That works. That's really great. That's usually what I do. But the foot, everything is resting. You're side lying. You're like, this is too good to be true. Loving kindness, showing loving kindness to yourself. And palms are together. And then you inhale and you open the arm out, follow the arm, and then closing this beautiful rice paper Japanese folding fan. Inhale, open it out. Maybe the handle of it has that nice lacquerware. Oh, this is a nice fan. And you're going to lower it and close it. And there's a beautiful painting. It's like a sumie on it. Beautiful painting. What is it? It could be sumie, it could be something more detailed. Are there special colors? Try to keep your top knee on the bolster. You should be able to, or on the block. Inhale, initiate the opening with an inhalation. Take as many rounds of breath as you need. Try to get your shoulder down. The hand-eye coordination. And then when the hands touch, you're exhaling, making your way there. Let's do 2 more on this side. Now, keep it open. Go ahead and, you might say, oh, I like the side bend. I'm going to be here. Some people sleep this way, right? And then some are like, oh, I'll keep my arm spread wide, or I'll keep the movement going because I like that. So let's just see what works for you. We'll take 3 rounds of breath here. What you could do, a little adjustment, lift your right shoulder blade, move your right shoulder blade to the right. My right arm is down. It's the lower arm. It's the side down that you move and breathe. Let's release, and we're going to take it the other direction. So you press, come on up, and reverse. So, of course, I like to shift the other side. So I move on my mat. You don't have to. And as we're here, getting all cozy, you should feel that your head is lifted enough that you feel your lower shoulder is comfortable. That's my left arm. That's lower. And then from here, inhale and open out. Take as many rounds of breath as you need. This is wonderful for the upper back. back and forth, luxuriate in your restorative yoga. You're restoring your body's natural energy, restoring your body's ability to heal. And it's like a physical healing. Sometimes it's an emotional healing, a spiritual healing, a mental healing, right? Restoring your natural energy and vitality. There's so many definitions of what is it that we restore in our yoga practice. Let's do a few more. And again, in your mind's eye, see this beautiful fan? There's only one like it in the world, and you've got it. It's unique. I don't know if you could see the amaryllis behind me. It opened this morning. Let's hold it open, unless you prefer to keep going back and forth, or hold it open. And your lower shoulder, so for me it's my left shoulder moves to the left. Right shoulder moves to the right. And breathe. Oh, that's good. And I even got a yawn out of that one. Let's come on out. Yawning is good in yoga. And then once we come out, we're going to release. Good work. And from here, let's come to sitting for a moment. Yeah. Okay. So let's take a moment to lengthen the spine, breathing in, and exhale. And again, breathing in and exhale. Great. So we're coming to this, the side bend movement, and here's what, how I'd like to use the chair, okay? We do this, but we don't usually use the chair. So you're going to side lie over the bolster, and you might want a block. No, you don't need a block because the lower knee is bent. Okay, lower knee is bent, top leg is straight. And I don't know how close you'll need this to be, but usually what I say is we take the arm up overhead. Well, if you have a chair to reach for, that might be nice. Okay, so, I mean, it could be really close and give you more support. It could be further away. I'm holding kind of like the edge of the chair, and it might be really nice for you. And maybe you're like, I don't really like the chair. I like my arm to stretch up overhead. Okay, so you're going to see how this works for you. Now, the top leg is straight, and it's going to move back. It's off the mat. And if you want more of a stretch, you lean back, and in which case sometimes the head hangs, sometimes you take a block to the back of the head. And again, in this one, I could reach for the legs of the chair. So side bend, or a little more arch, and you're looking up, and like it could be the top of the chair, seat of the chair, not top, the seat of the chair, or the legs of the chair. And breathe. So take a few more rounds of breath. For some, this can be very relaxing, and for others, it can be very intense. And the way I set it up, usually it's like relaxing for me. Today, it's a little more intense, like as I'm reaching for the chair, and I mean, in a good way. Intense, like I say, that it's just a deeper stretch. So really, letting your legs, your legs kind of moving in these opposite directions. Good. And take another breath here. Inhale. Exhale. Okay. So you're going to just slowly retract your arm. Slowly retract your legs. Slowly use your hands to push yourself up. Before doing other side, let's just come to a seated movement. So you kind of like think of it as a counter pose. And closing the eyes, breathing. And you can really feel a difference on the sides. Good. All right, so there we go. Second side. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to shift my chair just so I can still face the screen. It doesn't matter for you. You could turn. Yeah. So setting it up. And I'm also going to turn the heat on. So as you're here, remember all those so many ways to work this, right? So one is that bottom leg is bent, top leg straightened, and you're going to lean way back. Kind of like you're caught in a runner's movement. And then will you have your arms regular? Will you reach for a chair? I need to move it away. And some of you were really happy reaching for the top of the chair. It's easier on the shoulder, more support. The closer the chair, the more support. But then also some of you were able to arch, which means you roll back, like your heart looking up to the sky, and you reach for the legs of the chair. My head is supported by a block. And take time. You're all stretched like really stretched out, like a snake. And breathing. This is all about breathing. You're breathing into your lungs, into your ribs, into your heart center, maybe even into the hip flexor that carries so much fear, so ready to run away, or to fight. And yoga is really not putting up a fight. Yoga is about being present, so not fleeing. Yeah, being beautifully present. And breathe. Let's say 3 more rounds of breath. And then when you start to come out, remember to go ahead and retract your back leg, knees are together. You're side lying again. Your top hand will push into the mat, solid, and start to come up. And then from here, once again, we'll sit, just sitting regular, whatever is most comfortable for you, and breathing. Good. Nice breath in. And exhale. One more breath in. And exhale. So we've got a twist coming up. So our twist is this one where, let's see, no. I was thinking, is there a way I can use the chair on it? Nope. So I've got the bolster, and it's lined up with the length of my mat. So you can see here, I'm facing it, but on this one, I don't want to face it. I want to have my right hip to it, okay? So my right hip is touching the edge. Sometimes I do this, and I see people are sort of like askew, and I think, oh, how did we do that? So the knees, you'll be like so. Some don't like this, so they have to straighten one leg. But I think most are okay with the knees bent. Okay, so my right hip is touching the bolster. Now I twist. So my left buttock comes up off the mat, I twist, and imagine taking your navel to the center of this bolster. Both hands pushing in to the mat. You're probably not facing the screen anymore, you're looking at the back of the room, and your right hand is doing a lot more pushing. So elongate, imagine you could just elongate across the bolster, and of course, yes, rolled blankets work, blankets folded in thirds work. Turn your head to the right. Turn your head away from your knees and breathe. It's one other way, which is kind of cool. If you wanted to make it just even more luxurious, you bring a block under the bolster so it's at an incline, and you twist this way. We are going to readjust. Keep your legs as they are. Press your hands into the mat. Lift up, lengthen, 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 and then twist again. And so you went that much deeper, and breathe. Let's readjust a second time. So lengthen, lift, look up, really get long, and then twist. And it's amazing how much deeper you go. In fact, like I had this incline, but I think I'm getting rid of the incline for this last adjustment. And breathe. Let's come up, lengthen the spine, and we have a second side. So all you have to do is turn, so your back is to the bolster, drop your knees to the left, and then keep turning so your left hip is touching the bolster. If this bothers your right knee, you might have to straighten the leg, okay? And then keep turning, twist, move from your navel. Your right buttock is up off the mat. Lift, look to the wall behind you probably. Keep turning, turning, turning. Turn from your head as well. And, oh yeah, a different side. So the first time I started out with the bolster at incline. So I'm doing that. And there we are. And breathe. Let's go ahead and press up. And let's realign. So look forward, lengthen the spine if you can, lengthen, twist more from the navel, twist from your spine, and second readjustment, right? First readjustment, I don't know what we'd say, first readjustment, second time in it. Second time, third time, I don't know. Lengthen, one more readjustment. Look up, turn more from the navel, and really come up on the bolster, and just take a few more rounds of breath here. Wonderful. Let's come on up and stretch out your legs. You're facing forward again. Shake them out. Just shake them out. Good. Good work. We have frog, all right? So it's inner thigh work. So this is where, again, maybe the chair comes in handy, maybe. You know, we've done this many times without. So let's just do a few of these. So one could be, of course, your chair has to be solid. Usually we need a little something under our knees for comfort. Okay, it's an inner thigh stretch, which is kind of how we started today. Anyway, so one way is it could be that your knees are wide and you lean and you hold the chair so it doesn't slip out from underneath you, right? So you're holding the edge of the chair. That's one way. And you could also be sitting on a block. Like if you're going to sit on a block, imagine you want it pretty high. So I'm just looking at ways, how can I make this work for you, okay? Really comfortable. But many times we don't use a chair, right? So you might say, oh, I just love having my bolster. Here I am. Who needs a chair? But today what I'm doing is, since I have the chair, I'm going to reach for it. I'm going to have my hands on the legs of the chair. It's not really pulling me, give me extension. It's just something to reach for. And once again, this pose, it could be inclined with the bolster. You could always have the incline or not. And it's kind of nice having that, you know, just these different options. Our bodies are all different. If we were together, you would see, I don't even know how many we are today, you would see a unique variation of this pose in every person because we all move uniquely. So it looks like 18 of us. You'd see 18 variations. And here we are, resting on one side of the face. Breathe in. The elbows should be relaxed too. Exhale. This pose really lets you widen across your back. Anybody have sciatica here? Oh, it's wonderful. It's like the sciatic nerve can just flow. It's not impinged. If you have stenosis of your lower back, this is wonderful. It helps to release. The intensity, of course, is in the inner thigh. And that's once that starts releasing, your back benefits. Let's come the other way. Lift, turn your head, and rest. Okay. And then we're going to release, and we're going to come out and just have a moment here. Bolster could still be in place. You're going to round, cat-cow, round. Inhale, arch. Round. Inhale, arch. Exhale, round. Inhale, arch. And then we'll come to downward facing dog. So if you don't want to, you can always do, you can always use your chair, do that from standing, the standing one. Or, here we go. With this bolster underneath me, especially if you're tight, you might want to put it on an incline. And then what happens? You come into downward facing dog, and maybe your head touches the bolster, maybe not, okay? The idea is not to let my head drop down onto the bolster, but just kind of like I'm reaching tailbone up, head down. Arms are pushing away from the earth. There's a rebounding action. Bounce, boom, up like a basketball. The harder you push down, the higher it's going to bounce. And there's your body. Push down with your hands and feet and feel rebounding action through your spine. And then upward facing dog, incline or not. And you can press into, like, I'm not necessarily, like, it's helping me to come into this really nice arch. Breathe in, exhale, and I don't have to carry as much weight in my hands. And then release. And now take your bolster across. Arms drape over it, hands hang, and lower your head. Your knees can be a little wide, and stretch your shoulders. One more breath here. And then we have an arch lying over the bolster this way, right? Before it was long. And what I would suggest, if this is just too much for you, have something under your head. You could really go high with it. You could also just say, the bolster's too much for me to lie over, and you could roll a blanket, and then you have a lot of control. So I'm sitting. Some like to sit, roll up the blanket so that it's a little less abrupt. And so I have the block up pretty high. That is really nice on the neck. But we have all levels here. So you might say, like, for example, me, I like my head down, but I don't know, block's not a bad thing. I'm going to look up, make sure you're all aligned. Maybe you'll play with the heights, and maybe you'll just do away. You're going to be here for a while. I'm not there to check your neck. So make sure that your neck is super happy right now. Don't tolerate discomfort. It's not safe, and it's not pleasant. So I know I kind of state the obvious, but you know that. And just be wise with your body. Listen to your body. Loving kindness. Listen to your body. Fish pose. Open across the chest, very open. Open across the diaphragmatic area. Open across the throat. let's take just a little more time here. I will say something like, let's do another half minute. Some of you are more open. You could also take hands to elbows up overhead. And that's your half a minute. So we bend the knees, we roll to one side, just rolling to one side, using your top hand to help yourself come up. Good work. Good work. So from here, I would like to come to the wall so that we can do legs up the wall and threading the needle at the wall. So what I'm first going to suggest is when you go to the wall, don't be so close to the wall. Later we'll get closer to the wall. Okay, so yeah, so let's just try that. I'll show it. Huh. That chair really wants to come. Oh, we're done with the chair, by the way. And when you are at the wall, you might want have your block handy and have your strap handy. Okay, so things we will want. Okay, everything's handy, right? Okay. Let's try to move that. Okay. There we go. So what I meant by not being too close is about like so, 90 degree. And this might be, a little too easy for you, but we'll get closer in and see how it feels. I'm finding already the blanket is, I don't want it. I don't want it. It's, I want to feel the mat underneath me. So you can determine how you want to be. So it's like a bridge. You're going to curl up. See why I wanted to feel the mat underneath me. You're going to curl up, lift up, and come down. So use your strong legs, use your core, and I don't want this to be like about all compressing. It's like your legs are powerful and your arms can help you, and you lift and you get this nice strengthening to the back, but it's very therapeutic on the spine, down. And when you drop down, you have the pelvic tilt, so your back is down, and keep doing that a few more times. So it's like a massage to your back, up and down. Now, it depends on you. You might say, I like this, but I'm going to bring my feet a little closer in, maybe like it's one leg up in the air and one leg down. And you could switch off. Use your arms, use your core, use your glutes, and down. And then let's just take right ankle over left. For many, this is, if you're really tight, you're like, whoa, this is intense. We'll do both sides, and then we'll get closer to the wall if you can. So just do this. So what's nice is your back stays down, and here we are. And you could flex your right ankle and gently press. Breath in. Exhale. And let's do the other side. Leg comes across, ankle flexed, press. So remember, restorative uses props, usually bolsters, but also the wall is a prop, the chair was a prop. All right, so if that is like intense for you, stay there. Or make your way closer to the wall. And you have to like sidle up to the wall. There we go. And we're going to do that again. So right ankle over left, and I bend my left knee. The tighter you are, the less you're going to bend, the more The more open you are, the more you will bend. And I'm trying not to let my pelvis go up. If it goes up, you're probably better off away from the wall like we did initially. And arms are in I surrender, and breathe. Let's do the other. So, coming across and then bend the knee. Flex the left ankle and breathe. So I do wonder, how close is your strap? It's probably out of reach. I know. I bet it's out of reach. So you want to have a little tiny loop. You're going to loop. A block would be nice too. My blocks are far away. But anyways, I'm going to loop, little tiny loop, and I'm going to bring the loop across my mid-calves. I want the loop a little tight, so you got like merman feet, merman legs. I don't know if such a thing exists, but I bet it does. A merman, a mermaid. So, and then we lift. And if you want, you could bring something underneath you. I just happen to have that blanket. Whoa, that's nice. Okay. And it might be worth your time, worth your while to just say, the block's over there, I'm going to go get it, or a blanket. It's so soft. It could be your bolster. Bolster would be perfect. When I put something underneath me, I'm no longer touching the wall. It's crazy. Before that, I was touching the wall. I slipped the blanket, not touching the wall. And here we are. You could have hands on belly. You could have arms at your sides, palms facing up. That's traditional. You could have arms at a T, arms at a V, arms up overhead parallel to each other, palms facing up, whatever you like. I surrender arms, diamond arms. There's all these different arm, names I've come up with, right? And wherever you're at, be still. Be here, be present. Allow your legs to completely relax. This is great, not just for edema of the ankles or the legs, but also if you happen to have any pain in your knees or like a little, discomfort or swelling. Sometimes happens. This is very good. Lymph fluid draining. Before coming out, I'm going to invite you to do a few different things. One, stay where you're at. Two, different options. Undo the strap and take the soles of the feet together. Was that 1, 2, 3, 4? Go wide. It doesn't work for me because, boom, I lost the wall. If you come to bound angle, it might be that your heels don't actually touch. That's fine. Like tops of feet touch, heels maybe not. Let's go ahead and bring the knees together, and we're going to come to sitting. And ideally, you're sitting against the wall. Okay, so you'll need your block. So you're coming over, coming up, and I think not sitting on a blanket, we'll see. I just realized it's 2-hour session. I'm super happy because I was like, oh, time's going by so fast. And then I realized, hey, we have more time. So here we go. I'm sitting against the wall. And before I bring the block in place, I'm just going to, I'm sitting here. If this bothers your knees ever, then you would have you would bring the blocks under your thighs, and that would hold you in place. Or the way I'm going to suggest is you're here, kind of noticing where you're at. Are your knees up? Are they down? And then bring the block in place and just be very, very comfortable. And take your hands to your feet, or hands are onto your blocks. Don't push your knees down, and breathe. A few more rounds of breath here. Let's remove the block, shake out the legs, shake it out. And the second one. So you go now a little wider with the block. Feet are closer in. Pause. If for some reason you don't have wall space, you can always have like we did in the beginning, have the bolster under your knees and lean forward. It's another way of getting into the inner thighs. And your hands are on the block, not pushing your knees down. And breathe. All right, we're taking the block away. Shake out the legs. Last one. Wide, wide, wide. We did a lot of inner thigh work today. I bet you'll feel this. Breathing in. Exhale. Just be present. Okay, releasing, and we're going to stretch the legs out and shake them out again. Yeah, good work, good work. So we are, and like my mind just went, where I had the, let's come on to our backs just for a moment. You still have it's like a deep body stretch, and then we have a side bend movement. So I want you to be one arm length from the wall, okay? And again, can this be done without a wall? Yes. So the wall just gives me something to lean into, okay? And you're going to take your right leg over the other. You might want to come on your elbows, shimmy over, so right leg on top of the other, shimmy over to the left, and then extend your right arm. Now, the cool thing is you have a wall there. You could push into the wall or simply say, no, I'm just going to hold my wrist. Okay. And breathe. It's pretty simple. It's really nice. It's very relaxing to side bend while on your back. Let's come out and let's go the other way. Shimmy across, over to your right, reverse the legs, left leg over the other, reach the arms up overhead, and grab hold of your left wrist. And release. And come back to center. Okay. And just pull knees right into chest. So we're going to, again, wall or no wall, it is really up to you how to work here. Just so you can see it, what I was thinking is having a strap, and I'm going to work at stretching the legs. So this could be done in the middle of the room, but if I have the wall, I could push one foot into the wall and get a deeper into a stretch. And this, because it's restorative yoga, I would like that no hands strap, no hands device. So I need a big, long loop. And if it doesn't work for you, you can just use the loop the old-fashioned way. This is the innovative way, hands-free. So I put it on like I'm putting on a sweater, and the strap is across my back. The tail part is facing me, so I can pull it. I could tug it if I need to. My left foot is on the wall. And you know what? This strap could go around your rib cage. Like, it doesn't have to be shoulder blades. It could be lower ribs, too. And, if you're long-legged, you need a really long strap. And the shorter your legs, or the more open you are, then the shorter your strap. Okay, so my right leg is in this device. My hands don't have to do anything. It's a wonderful hamstring stretch. And all the while, my left leg is pushing into the wall. And we're going to be here for a little while. And breathe in. Because there are variations, too. Now, you could take the leg out to the side to see how that works for you. You may have to shift a little bit. So like for me, I usually can go over a little more, but the strap kind of puts it puts limits on where I go, which is okay because I can push out and I can still relax into it and get into, we've done a lot of inner thigh work anyway, so I just kind of putting my leg out to the side, pushing into the strap, and breathe. So when you use your hand, you have to grip, but when you don't have to use your hands, you can relax more. I know, sometimes you don't have the long enough strap though, or a way to secure it. Cool. Let's come across. So your right leg now is going to the left. So the easier way would be I just go across and I'm hanging out, or I'm going to go across all the way. Like I'm going to shift and stretch. Okay, so again, you don't have to go very far to get a deep stretch, or maybe you want to. I have to tighten it a little bit. That helped. When I tighten it, it helped to kind of keep the integrity of the pose. Meanwhile, remember the other foot that's on the wall, the outer edge of the foot is touching the floor, the foot is pushing into the wall, and breathe. Let's come out. Just keep the strap around you if you had it around you, and just hug the knee to chest. Remove the strap, but keep it around you and just hug the knee in. Breath in. And exhale. And let's do second side. So I need to go a little closer to the wall so that I start out with my knees bent. And then I take the other leg. Remember I had tightened it to go across, so I'll loosen it. And breathe. Get it just right. It's so worth it. Mess with it until it's like, the strap's just where I want it. So this pose is a lot like legs up the wall. I mean, in terms of what it does for the lymph fluid. So that's really great. And then we're going to go out to the side. So you're going to really, move the straps, find it that it works for you. Tighten it if you need to, and hold it in place. And breathe. Let's come across the other way. So you might find that you need a little more strap or less. I don't know. Last time I tightened it when I went across. So go to that place where you feel the good stretch. Turn your head left. Remember, the foot on the wall is going to turn. And breathe. And then back to center and remove the strap. Hug the knee to chest. It's still around me. It doesn't matter. I'm going to hug the knee to chest, stretching the back. We're going to take both knees into chest. Your hands are on your knee joints, and you're going to circle out and circle in. Big circles. Circles come together. Circles move apart. And reverse. Great. Okay. So we're going to come to standing for a moment. And it's the neck release that we're going to do, and it's the one where you want a big, big towel or a blanket. And like the quilt I have doesn't work because it's too rigid. So like the blankets we have at Seattle Athletic Club are so cool, the Mexican blankets. I have one here. I'm going to grab mine. Or sometimes you have a flannel one, something that, because we're going to make a collar for our body. So I'm going to go get one and grab something. Yeah, it can still be here. I'll shift this now. Okay, there we go. So it goes like this. You take, that's about the size you need, really. And it's not going to be horizontal lines, but vertical lines. And what I say is, some people are so funny, they try to fold it nicely. You want a messy collar, okay? So you're holding, and you're going to bunch, and your hands are only so big, so you can bunch against your body, bunch, 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 bunch. So you bunched it, okay? You just made, that collar's a little funny. So you bunched it, all right? And by the way, it should be even. So mine wasn't even, now it's even. The sides are even, okay. So I'm going to come close in so you can see. It's kind of a messy collar. I'm going to take it at my neck, and it's all bunched. And the only way it could get better is if it just came out of the dryer. And then you're going to take this, my right hand, I'm going to tuck it under my armpit. And I'm going to take this other one, I'm going to tuck it under my armpit, okay? And you don't want it so tight that you can't breathe, obviously. I hope you're entertained by this. And then I'm going to move this mic, because it doesn't work with this. And you just made a collar, and you're going to move your head around. Moving your head around. You're standing. And it's so cool. Like, you can really move. You can really, usually, if we don't have a collar in place, you want to be kind of careful about when you move back. But here, you could just keep moving and get right into your neck. Reverse the circles. Relax your jaws. Push. Yeah. All right, and then just kind of find a place. Just kind of explore it some more. Maybe it's down or up or side. It's so comfortable. And then just take a deep breath in. Inhale. Exhale. I'm going to have you adjust a little bit. So maybe it means loosen, maybe it means tighten. Just kind of feel the comfort of it. And get your best posture ever, really upright here. Bring your feet together. I have to hold, I would normally have my hands down. I'm holding the mic. Breathe in. Exhale, close your eyes. Exhale, feel how cozy that is around your neck, how supported your neck is. And when your neck, it's almost like you gave yourself a little traction as well. Yeah. So from here, I usually like to go to Shavasana, but it's not Shavasana time yet. So we're going to do resting crocodile. And we might reapply this. I don't know. We'll just kind of see, because there's a way you can lie down and make a collar for yourself. So we'll do that later, okay? So let's undo it. Oh, it's so sad. It's like, oh, okay. I'll put my mic back in. So when you come onto your backs, you're going to be on your belly. And let's see how we're doing here. Okay. I think I can just talk you right through this. You're on your belly, resting crocodile. It's the way some people sleep. Bend your left knee and bring your knee at a right angle. Some people have to have like a blanket under their, did I say right knee? Your left knee. Bend your left knee, have your left knee at a right angle. Rest the right side of your head down. Both arms are going to be 90 degrees. Left palm facing down. You can see your left hand. Right palm facing up. So if I'm standing and you wanted to see what the heck I'm doing, it would look like this. Okay. Resting crocodile also speaks to the parasympathetic nervous system, the relax and renew response. Just feel your whole body, especially the right side of your body, heavily on the mat. And breathe. Take another breath here. Inhale. Exhale. It's very deeply relaxing. So we go the other direction. So now it would be your right knee bending. You turn your head, so it's the left side of your face is down. Your right knee is at a right angle. Left leg relaxed. And arms, you're looking at your right hand. Elbows both at 90 degree. Your back hand, fingers are pointing down towards your toes. Left palm is up. And breathe. The crocodile represents that which is 100% present, alert. Being alert is part of the crocodile's survival. Same time, the crocodile is 100% still, stillness. And that's how the crocodile hunts. So the ancient yogis saw this crocodile as something very, very unique and special, containing qualities that we all would like, to be 100% present, alert, highly alert, awake, and yet 100% relaxed. Let's say be here for a few more rounds of breath. And we're going to release the knees and press back to child's pose. So if you want the bolster with you, if you want to reach for something, that's fine, or simply come to child's pose. One more really nice one, we have time for this bolster idea, is, we kind of did a little earlier, but this is where you come over it and you lie over it, and you have your toes curled under, and it's upward facing dog. You don't have to even have much weight on your arms, and you could extend the toes, but usually and so it's sort of like you're almost up, you're leaning, your pelvis is on the bolster, and it's just a really nice one. And then lower, and so your head hangs, and you're going to just let your head hang, maybe your chin will touch the bolster, you're lying over it, and your head is down. My forehead is resting on my hands. You could bend your knees, let your knees drop down, and extend your feet. We're getting ready for the long Shavasana and the loving kindness meditation. So what I would say is you have your bolster, your knees are going to lie over your bolster. You might still have the remnants of the collar left, okay? Here's what I would say. You bring it around you, unless you want it over you, that's fine. And you're going to adjust it so that it's now under your head too. So it's like a little support. Your head's not hanging. It's like a little lift for your head. And then you would take one side across your chest, like at an angle, and the other one across your chest at an angle. And it's kind of funny. But, you don't want to cover your ears so much that you can't hear me. You want to hear the meditation. But you're cozy. You made like a little hood. Maybe you're going to make a real hood. But keep a little space open around your ears so you can still hear. And I might just stay here and not go anywhere. It's very cozy. Your legs are relaxed. Your heels are touching down. Maybe, unless you have a big giant bolster. Your back is comfortable. Your palms are facing up. I'd like you to start with the body scan and just taking a moment here to relax your entire body. For the most part, we'll be just observing our breath, but right now, I'd like to, for 3 times, we're going to take a breath in and let out an audible sigh. Breathe in. Exhale through your mouth. Breathe in. Exhale, audible sigh. Loud HA sound. Maybe that's not a sigh. It'll be more vocalized this last time. Breathe in. And now you are the observer. And you're bringing your focus to your feet, relaxing your feet, relaxing your ankles, completely relaxing your calves and your knees. Completely relaxing your thighs, relaxing your hip joints, your hamstrings. Completely relaxing your hands, your wrists. It's part of your body scan, letting go of any residual tension, let go of any tension in your arms and your shoulders. Let go of any tension around your heart and your chest. Completely relax the entire spine. Relax your entire spine. Breathing in. Exhale. Breath in. Relax your neck and your face. Relax your forehead and your jaws, your mouth. Completely relax your brain. Feel your body restful, stress-free, relaxed. For the metta meditation, loving kindness meditation, I want you to see yourself as if you were looking at yourself. This person who is yourself sitting in front of you. And you say to yourself, may I be happy. May I be safe. May I be healthy, peaceful, and strong. May I give and receive in equal measure. May I have appreciation for today. May I forgive myself for mistakes I have made. Next, I want you to see a person from your family. This person represents, it's one family member. It's the person you are closest to in your family. And this person represents all family members. And you see this person, and you say with your whole heart, may you be happy. You speak to one person, but this reverberates outward to every family member. May you be safe. May you be healthy. May you be peaceful. May you be strong. May you give and receive with equal measure. May you appreciate today. And you further tell this person, please forgive me if I have inadvertently hurt you in any way. And I forgive you if you have hurt me in any way. And you feel this person accepting your words, and you watch this person walk away. Next who comes to mind is a friend. It is one friend who represents all the friends in your life. This is the one friend you are closest to. This is the one friend who is extremely special. And you tell your friend, may you be happy. And you really feel these words. May you be safe. May you be healthy, peaceful, strong. May you give and receive in equal measure. May you have appreciation for today. And please forgive me if I have hurt you in any way. And please know that I forgive you if you have hurt me. And you feel the words, and your friend feels the words, and the feeling reverberates onto every friend. And you watch your friend walk away. Next is an acquaintance. Someone who is not in your inner circle, someone whose paths you cross occasionally. You may greet them, hello. This person represents all acquaintances and all people whose paths you cross, maybe at the grocery store, at the bank. So it's an acquaintance plus people that you come in touch with regularly. And you tell this acquaintance, may you be happy, may you be safe, may you be healthy, peaceful, and strong. May you give and receive in equal measure. May you appreciate today. Forgive me if I have hurt you in any way. And I forgive you if you have hurt me in any way. And feel those words. Feel this acquaintance accepting your words. Feel these words reverberating throughout a community of people that you don't know very well, whose paths you cross. And watch this person walk away. The last person we'll call to mind is a difficult person. A difficult person. And this person represents all people who are difficult. But this is the one person that, you're calling to mind someone, and you are going to look at this person, and with your whole heart, you say, may you be happy. May you be safe. May you be healthy, peaceful, and strong. May you give and receive in equal measure. May you appreciate today. And please forgive me if I have hurt you in any way. And I forgive you for having hurt me. And you feel your words, and you feel your words being accepted. And you watch this person who represents all the difficult people in your life walk away. And you find yourself light, lighter than ever, strong. And just simply take these next few moments to be present. We're going to begin to deepen the breathing. Move your hands and feet. And it feels so good to be free and loving and forgiving, doesn't it? It's very strong. It's very, very powerful. And we just move our hands and feet, make your way to sitting. And turn your audio back on, your video if you like.